I am sorry, my viewers. I have lied to you. I told you I'd be coming to you from Florida next, but here I am, still in North Carolina, looking at a salamander. Anyways, yeah, I decided to get out again today just because I had a little bit of free time and see what I could turn up. I really wanted to see one of the local redbacks or a northern dusky salamander because both of those would be lifer species for me that are very similar to stuff we have back home, but different at the same time. Anyways, first herp I managed to turn up is this little southern two-line salamander. These are the same as the ones we have back home, so I'm just gonna put this guy back under his rock and keep flipping. That's a slightly different slug to what I'm used to seeing in Georgia. And these boys. So basically there's 3 quick lifers that I'm hoping to get here today. Hoping I at least get 1 or 2 of them. The northern redback salamander, the white spotted slimy salamander, and the northern dusky salamander. And I actually saw a dusky yesterday at the mud salamander spot, but it got away. And I'm hoping to turn up another one here. Because if I don't see any of those things, or at least something interesting, I'm probably not going to post this video, just because it'll be common salamanders that you guys have already seen. But what'll probably happen is there'll be a couple of quick minutes here, and then I'll shoot to a day or 2 in Georgia before I go to Florida. So there we go. There's my first lifer of the day. This is a white spotted slimy salamander. Visually looks almost identical to the ones you see in Georgia, but it is in fact a different species. So I'm going to get a couple quick photos of this guy and give you a better look at him. Actually, I'm going to give you a better look at him first, as to prevent what happened with the mud salamander. But pretty cool. First lifer species of slimy salamander I found in a while. So with a lot of the slimy salamander species, the differences between them are mostly genetic, and that seems to be the case with these guys too. From what I can tell, they do seem to be a little smaller than our slimies. Obviously, this is the first one I've seen, and he's pretty small. But a lot of the pictures I've seen, they seem to have stubbier tails like this guy does, and they do seem to be a little bit smaller. But that's just my personal observation. I don't know if there's any science behind that or not. But anyways, white spotted slimy salamander. Hey, would you look at that? I've been here for like 2 hours, and I flipped my 2 targets back to back within 5 minutes. And now I just got to get the northern dusky, and that's everything I was hoping to see today. Let me get a couple quick photos of this guy. Anyways, this is a northern redback salamander, Plethodon cinereus. The ones in Georgia are southerns, Plethodon serratus, I believe. But anyways, gonna get a couple quick photos of this guy and let him go, and I'll give you guys another look at him here in a second, but pretty cool. So I didn't notice when I first found this guy, but he's actually kind of neat, because I think this honestly might be the most elongated salamander I think I've ever seen that still has legs. He is so much longer than the redbacks back in Georgia. And that's a good transition from the Webster Eye video, because those guys are one of the stouter redback family salamanders. And this guy right here, I mean, he's like 3 or 4 inches long. It's crazy, and it's at least half tail. Really cool looking salamander. Anyways, I'm gonna put this guy back under his log and see if we can find that last lifer I need for the day, the northern dusky salamander. So, all right guys, quick in C2, another little redback right here, second one of the day. And I pulled the rock back a little bit further, and there's a third, or the third one for the day, 2 under 1 rock. I think this creek would normally be a pretty good spot for duskies, but it's so high that a lot of the flippable rocks are underwater. Redback number 4. I think I found the sweet spot for these guys here. Redback number 5. This guy is approaching leadback phase, where they lose a lot of that red coloration. They call them leadbacks. But number 5 for the day. I think that's 6 and 7 in C2. These guys are both huge. Way bigger than any of the southern redbacks I ever see. So there's the first 2 that I saw. Over here, number 3. And number 4 right there under the same thing. Look at that. I didn't even see that one. So if that thing back there had 3 under it, there we go, 2 more. 3 more. What the heck? That other thing had 4, and this has 3. Well, I've lost count, but there's another one of these cinder block things right here. So, oh, none under that one. I think it was a little too tight to the ground. Hey, something that's not a redback. Another 2-line. All right, guys, I think that's actually going to be it for North Carolina. Got some lifers, got to see a really cool mud salamander, and I was only here for 2 days, so I'll take it. Anyways, I'll probably end up putting a couple of days of Georgia with this just to fill the video up. Hopefully see some cool stuff when I get back home, so I will see you guys then. Good morning, everyone. I am back in Georgia, and I am coming to you from this parking lot that is currently slightly flooded. And I'm out here this morning looking for some amphibians, seeing what I can turn up. It's a little bit warm. It might be warm enough for snakes today. We'll see. But I just stepped out of the car, and there is an abundance of chorus frog eggs in the water here. If I can get my camera to focus on them. It wants to focus on the sky. That was weird. There you go. Chorus frog eggs. Another mass right there, and another mass right there, and another mass right there. They're everywhere. So, looks like amphibian spring breeding season has officially began here in North Georgia. A river cooter, first reptile of the day, sitting on that one little patch of sun in that tree. Ah, I love that sound. Upland chorus frogs. All right, we are on the board for salamanders today. A nice little double flip, a good looking marbled, and a little slimy right here. See if I can get this guy uncovered. There you go. Double flip. So this area I'm in today is one that I've never given a proper winter salamandering. So that was one of my main goals today, was just to get out here and see what I could turn up salamander wise. Off to a decent start with this little slimy and marbled though. Anyways, gonna put them back under their log and keep herping. Now this is strange. I've never seen a marbled salamander do this before, but I've heard of it. This is a defensive posture. These guys are actually capable of sliming you just like slimy salamanders, almost as bad, if not worse, really. I've been slimed by them before, but I've never seen this defensive posture. Pretty cool. This basically, I think, helps them excrete the slime. You can see right there, that white stuff coming out of the tail is marbled salamander slime. Anyways, don't want to harass this guy too much, so I'm just going to put him in the leaf litter by his log and he'll crawl away when he's ready. Alright, here's another salamander for the day. Another species too. This is a little southern 2-line salamander. This plump little lady is a gravid female, so I'm just going to put her back under her log while she's getting ready to cook those eggs, so pretty cool. New species for the day and a new species for the spot. All right, guys, well, in an interesting turn of events, I walked around this entire vernal pool, flipped this one Titanic log, and the big boy. Nice. Big male spotted salamander, ready to breed. As with other species of salamanders this time of year, you can tell this guy's ready to breed because of his swollen cloaca. Look at this beast. Love him. I was really hoping to see one of these guys today, but I'd never seen them here before, so this is definitely a nice find. I'm gonna get some quick photos of him, and then I'll give you guys one more look at him before I let him go. Alrighty, I'm gonna let this handsome little guy go back under his partially submerged log. The main question I have is, why does it have to be so windy today? It would be a decent day for snakes if there was no wind. I hate this weather. All right, guys, here is some evidence of salamander reproduction already. We didn't see any of this at the other pond I checked, but these little spots right here on the bottom of this vernal pool, these little white clusters that kind of look like popcorn, are spermatophores. And I'm sure a lot of you can guess what that is. Basically, what these are the male reproductive deposits of the spotted salamander, likely. I don't know of any other species that would be in this area that do this, but this is a good sign that breeding has already begun, and hopefully soon we'll be able to actually observe it. Okay, guys, so here are some more spermatophores. Let's see, and this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You see the spermatophores on the bottom there, and right there is the first egg mass I've seen. It's very likely that that's spotted salamander, but that is a very tiny egg mass for them. I'm not sure what a lot of the other salamander species here look like when they lay eggs, but the way the spermatophores are clustered on the bottom like that, and placement of this egg sac definitely looks spotted salamander. So I'm gonna walk around in here a little bit and see if I can turn up any adults. All right, guys, it's getting kind of late in the day, so I decided to do a strategical reassessment. I wasn't having much luck hiking or flipping, so I decided to come to this creek that I found on Google Earth that has a lot of these sluggish areas with lots of leaves in the water. And I'm gonna take my dip net and see if I can find anything in these muddy, mucky areas of the creek with lots of leaves. All right, guys, I did actually manage to turn up a salamander here by these rocks. And this is interesting because earlier in this video, you got to see northern redback salamanders. And this guy right here is a southern redback salamander. As you can see, this guy's significantly less lengthy than the ones that we were seeing in North Carolina. I mean, this is about as big as the southerns come. And I hardly ever see them any bigger than this. But the stripe on this guy is a little cleaner and a bit duller too. But otherwise, pretty similar looking salamanders. You can see why they're both called redback salamanders. But I'm gonna put this guy back under his rock and get in the water and see what I can turn up. All right, guys, so basically my strategy here is to pull up a bunch of this muck with my net, filter through it. You can see there's a little bug right there. Make sure I throw it all back in the water when I'm done, and hope that I pull up some sort of amphibians or even reptiles. This can be a good way to find turtles sometimes. Here's a little crayfish. This is one of the things that water dogs, what I'm hoping to see today, like to eat. Throw them back in the water. And doesn't look like there's anything exciting in this one, so I'm gonna put it back in the water and keep trying. All right, we have our first amphibian, little either leopard frog or bullfrog tadpole. Obviously not what I'm looking for, so I'm just gonna throw him back. Well, my net's broken. Guess I'm done. Moral of the story is don't use a collapsible dip net for really anything. Alright, guys, so today wasn't the most productive day. It wasn't terrible, but I did get to see a couple cool things, but didn't see what I really wanted to, which was a water dog. And it was overall pretty slow. That area that I was in is normally pretty slow, so not much of a surprise. But anyways, this whole video is going to be a little bit on the slow side, so I apologize. The next video that you guys see will, at the very least, contain snakes, and best case will be coming from Florida. I think I will probably make the next video Florida. I know I said that last time, but the weather has kind of been decent, and I've been itching to get out, so... Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.